Recording, sharing the screen. So we have finished till AAC 7, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Now we move on to AAC 8. It's very simple. So there is an established laboratory. So देखो AAC 5 से ही है ना? नहीं, 6, 7,
Laboratory.
8 is laboratory.
Yes.
So the laboratory safety program is implemented. Safety in lab, most of the time safety is related to your handling of samples, because samples are very biohazardous material. You are in direct contact with the various infections like HIV, HBsAg.
Right.
So laboratory safety program should focus on vaccination of the employees, like vaccinated for HBsAg, right? And then they should be aware for HIV prophylaxis, because see, safety is in two ways. One is you should get vaccinated the diseases which you can get, or otherwise you should be very aware that have prophylactic treatment. So HIV doesn't have a vaccine, so can be to be aware ki where the prophylactic treatment available, where are the drugs available, the kits are there. Then you have spill kit. So if blood falls down or the sample gets spilled on the floor or your working area, then how to clean that? So that is what is known as spill management. So
Spill management.
They should be ready with at least 3 to 5 spill kits which are available. So spill kit is kind of the thing which has defined contents. All the contents are in the spill kit with the checklist, and spill kit should be ready, and they should be very well aware about spill management. Okay.
Right. Okay.
At the same time, the electricity short circuit is very common in labs. So they should be aware about fire points. They should be aware of all the fire exits, how to save these expensive equipments and all other things. Then this program is aligned with organization safety program. Obviously, lab का different safety program ऐसा नहीं होगा. Yes, lab should have additional measures, but then overall hospital also is prone to exposure of these sample, patient blood, needle stick injury. So overall, this should be part of the organization's program. Okay. मतलब कम ज्यादा नहीं है. There is nothing less or nothing more. Lab and rest of the hospital safety program has to be as exhaustive and as precise as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Then lab personnel are appropriately trained in safe practices, and lab personnel are provided with appropriate safety measures. So whichever training we give to nurses, similar way safety program is also applicable to lab professionals. Okay. So this is what is AAC 8. There is an establishment lab safety program. If we go on AAC 9, now you see diagnostic में 6, 7, 8 is diagnostic. Diagnostic शुरू होता है. 6, 7, 8 is kind of lab, pathology lab.
Then imaging.
9 starts with radiology, means imaging services.
Yes.
So imaging services are provided as per scope of services of the organization. Same lab का वैसा ही है.
Same.
So if you see, yeah. So there are around imaging services comply with legal and other requirements. So यहाँ पे है देखो लैब में उन्होंने ऐसा कुछ दिया नहीं है, लीगल एंड अदर रिक्वायरमेंट्स, but imaging में they have given because your AERB registration is very important.
AERB registration, right?
So AERB MTP Act for this. So these are legal and other requirements which are mandatory alternate guidance. Okay. Then you have 1 second. Hold on 1 sec. Yeah. So next is scope of the imaging services in commensurate, which is okay to the services provided by the organization. Imaging results are available within defined time frame, same like lab, where turnaround time should be defined for UHG, X-ray, and all other things. Then again, reports are given in a standard manner. Again, we have critical results because lab has critical results. Similar way, UHG, X-ray also have critical results. For example, a compound fracture can be a critical result. Hydrated cyst in the liver can be a critical result. Fine, even your ruptured placenta can be a critical result. Right. So you have to decide your own critical result. The guidance is also available. What are the kind of critical results in radiology or pathology has to be immediately to the concerned clinician or physician. Okay. That should be displayed.
Right.
There is a mechanism to address the amendment of report. Similar way, if in the night there are some provisional reports given, there should be different format to it. Patients are transported in safe and timely manner to and from the imaging services. So there should be proper waiting area, whether it is wheelchair or stretcher or walking patient. Especially most of the X-ray units or UHG units do not consider that patient may come in via stretcher, so that whole stretcher can come in the UHG. No need to shift the patient to the bed, again shift to the stretcher. तो कभी-कभी UHG रूम इतनी छोटी होती है कि सिर्फ बेड होता है बस.
Yes.
But then there should be an alternate complete stretcher arrangement. So it has to be at least 200 square feet. And most of them goes on 100 square feet or 150. In that your extra stretcher or extra bed cannot fit.
Okay.
Yeah. The infrastructure, physical and equipment, human resources are adequate. That's fine. To provide for its defined scope of services. So you should have on call radiologist, on a site radiologist, or full-time radiologist and part-time radiologist, because it is not possible for a single radiologist to serve for a whole month. So you can't give the data that we have only one radiologist and we are okay with it.
Okay.
Anyway, you have to give the alternate radiologist. Pathologist is fine because he can report remotely. Even radiologist is fine nowadays because of the or teleradiology or telepathology.
Yes.
Accordingly, we can mention that if the radiologist is not available, that procedure should be mentioned in SOP manual of how the reporting will happen in absence of a radiologist or a pathologist.
Right.
Qualified and trained personnel perform, supervise, and interpret the investigations. Now, if UHG you can't afford to remotely diagnose. X-ray is fine. Yeah, but
okay.
For UHG, the personnel has to come and he has to be qualified.
Right.
Imaging tests not available in the organization are outsourced, as CT, MRI can be outsourced, Doppler or whatever. Huh? This is about AAC 9. Now there is an established same. Dekho, it is very critical. Quality assurance program in imaging services. So obviously, internal quality assurance for the imaging services can be to send the X-ray to other facility
similar to
and see how it is compared. And at the same time, ECAS, there are many programs conducted by organizations where they keep sending the images or videos of ultrasonography, where we have to diagnose, and then they'll score us how far you are from the correct diagnosis. Okay, so it is similar, like, but in radiology, if you find it is not, people are not doing it. In pathology, yes, pathology people are doing it, but in radiology, people are not doing the comparisons. Okay. So that is one problem.
Right.
Then again, you have, as F is the program addresses radiological meetings, similar way how the radiology diagnosis correlation is happening. So and the last one is the program includes the documentation of corrective and preventive actions.
Preventive actions. Yeah.
Okay. So
yes,
this is how it is, and then we'll move on to AAC 11. AAC 11 is safety program, similar like.
So, so one question. So in case of outsourced imaging services, what documents the hospital should have with them?
They just have to have a contract, that
contract, no, with the
contract has to be renewed. The contract contains the typical information that this hospital or imaging center is does not have these following the things, and we found that tests available, so we would like to outsource the tests. And we have to attach the annexures. This is what is our turnaround time policy. That whenever you will get our patient, you should send the UHG report within this time. Otherwise, they should provide their turnaround time. We can't enforce our turnaround time with them. They might have different turnaround time based on
turnaround time,
complexity and number of patients and equipment quality. Okay. So this is how it is. Then similar like pathology, there should be a safety program. But in this safety program, it is very important that radiation safety is a different guideline. For example, if your ultrasonography is fine, but wherever you have CT, CARM is always there in OT. CT scan, CR, X-ray, either it has to have 9-inch wall all around, or should have a lead plate. Okay.
Yes.
And on the entry, you should have a signage that pregnant women are prohibited to enter. So that's very, very important. Radiation, pregnant woman not allowed. Okay.
Right.
That was his radiation safety program. Safety. Then in radiation safety program, you have to have this TLD batches.
Yes.
TLD batches are provided by our Indian,
the laboratories which are government authorized laboratories, right?
It's all online.
In Mumbai, there is Renintech.
Exactly. Renin. Right. Google.com, if you search TLD.
It is Renintech, sir.
One form of TLD batch I wanted to see. It is thermoluminescent.
Thermoluminescent dosimeter.
Many people do not know the long form of this, and they ask.
Right.
What is the long form of TLD? Okay, so it is thermoluminescent dosimeter, and where it is available.
It is with the government authorized laboratories, wherein you will have to send the batches actually every 3 months.
That lab is
to send them for the.
This is barc.gov.in.
Right. It goes to BARC through.
Even AERB does that.
Yes.
So there are 2 organizations which does that. So what we have to do, we have to contact them and tell them the requirement, how much TLD batches you want when you start the lab.
Yes. Right.
And then they will now we should never ask 1 for 1. We should ask 2 for 1. We should ask 2 for 1. So 2 for 1 means one person once every 6 months he has to send that TLD batch for calculation whether he is exposed in a safe limit or the limit is crossed. If the limit is there is a compulsory paid leave for 6 months.
Yes.
So this is what is radiation safety program. But then if TLD batch is sent, so it will be sent only when other one is procured.
Received.
Otherwise, what happens that minimum mid period you do not have TLD batch because you are waiting for the TLD batch. That should never happen. So you should procure 2. Otherwise, you should procure 1 first, and within 3 months you should procure another. The moment 6 months finishes, before that you should ask for another TLD batch. Once it is received, this should be sent to the lab. Okay. Then imaging personnel and patients use appropriate radiation safety and monitoring devices where applicable. This is what is your TLD batch. Okay. Monitoring devices. Radiation safety and monitoring devices are periodically tested and results are documented. Patients are appropriately screened for safer risk before imaging. That's what I told for pregnancy and small kids, all other ones. Imaging signage is properly displayed. Okay, biohazard, radiation biohazard signage over there. This program is aligned with organization safety program, and ancillary personnel are trained in imaging safety practices and radiation safety measures. So imaging and ancillary personnel are trained. So who ancillary personnel usually qualification should be, they should be qualified in so X-ray technologist, USG technologist, MRI technologist. So they should be qualified. Most of the hospitals, they are not qualified. They have learned. So काम करता था, आप कर करके सीख गए. That will not be okay.
They should be certified.
They should be certified. So, but then most of the hospitals says now we don't get certified personnel. Then we can do is we can train this person to document all the X-rays and all, but we should tell that don't sign.
Yes.
And then nearby somebody who is qualified in working in some hospital, we can tell him that every day or every alternate day you can come and sign the register that you have done, and you have to be present on the day. But then there is a problem here. This is unparliamentary talk. Okay, fine. So I will delete it from the video. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Imaging an ancillary, the person has to be qualified. Okay. See, we can't compromise in compliance, and we have to demonstrate the compliance. So we have to be fussy to convince doctor that sir, qualified person chahiye. Kuch bhi karo aap, is your responsibility. Because in agreement we have clearly mentioned that to HR is a doctor's responsibility. Otherwise you will say that you are going to do so, you only recruit the HR. That is not possible. That can be done, but then at an extra cost.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So standard is around 1 month का salary. आप अगर हम उसका आप हमें देते हो तो हम आपके लिए we can find out the person. Okay. So for example, we are recruiting an X-ray technologist, and his salary is 20,000 bucks. So we charge them 20,000 rupees. The moment we recruit him, they have to pay us 20,000 bucks. Okay. Hello.
No, sir, I could not hear you properly. The last
if somebody is saying that you should recruit, then we should say that recruitment is hospital's responsibility. But if we can recruit, but it will be a separate charge, and we charge 1 month salary of that particular recruitment.
That recruitment, right?
So if you want RMO, we'll recruit RMO. But RMO, 1 month salary, not first month, 1 month salary you should pay us. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes doctors say that yes, we'll pay. Once we recruit, they say, no, come karo.
They don't do it.
Then we should say this is not fair, sir. You have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so next one is AAC 12. AAC 12 is patient care is continuous and multidisciplinary. Multidiscipline means you can't go on department specific disciplines and all. You have to, because there are some department specific guidelines or SOPs. There are some general guidelines or SOPs or policies which are for the. So this is what is multidisciplinary. So if you see, A is during all phases of care. There is a qualified individual identified as responsible for the patient care. So whether it is nurse, whether it is RMO, whether it is specialist or whether it is super specialist, whoever is involved in patient care has to be. Okay. This patient care is coordinate all care settings within the organization. Coordinated means, see, patient care is, at multiple levels. Maybe patient want to get checked his blood pressure. At the same time, he need a urine pot because he has got, and then he is in ICU. So that time, the nurse should be trained, and the attendant, male or female attendant, should be available to provide him a urine pot. At the same time, whenever there is some emergency, the RMO should be available to see the preliminary checking. If it's an there is an intervention needed by the super specialist or specialist, there should be somebody to call the super specialist or specialist to the numbers, and doctor should come and treat the patient. These are all coordinated. This is known as coordination. So that coordination is very, very important, and that is the actually sole purpose of patient satisfaction. Patient satisfaction is directly proportional to how coordinated all the hospital staff is, including security. So right from security to account to admission department to reception to doctors to specialists to on-call specialist or even full-time specialist. There has to be a coordination. Then only patient care is good, right? So that has to be covered, and people should be aware of that. Then the organization ABC, your C, information about the patient care and response to treatment. It's shared among medical, nursing, and other care providers. So not only doctor, but everybody who is related to patient care should be aware about the patient condition. So usually there is tagging, that is known as tagging. Just to have a tagging, it can be normal patient. Okay. Then patient may have problems and patient has problems. So those patients who problems, if we tag them, for example, yellow, then when the duty changes, the nurse automatically understand that this patient needs constant monitoring. The patient who is, for example, green, the change nurse or RMO while round understands that, okay, this patient is stable. And for example, orange color means RMO or doctors while round may ask few points whether they had these warning signs.
Right.
So this is how it can show the compliance to the information about patient care and response to treatment. It's shared among medical, nursing, and other care providers. Okay. Okay. The meaning of D is organization implement standardized handover communication. Okay. That's what first they have said you classify that. Later on they have you should have a proper handover. Duty changes. Because most of the time when duty changes, then problem comes, because previous nurse knows, but somehow does not know about this is the warning sign. and then
Yes.
issues comes. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is
Right.
what is your handover changes, and handover takeover register is compulsory for this. Or there should be an accountability that how the nurse has handed over the jobs of her patients to the new nurse who has come for the next. Uh, is your patient transfer within organization is done safely.
Okay.
Sometimes patient is in ward and patient gets warning signs where it indicates that the patient has to be transferred to ICU. Then there should be a safety mechanism to transfer the patient, because it might happen you don't have stretcher lift. It might happen that you don't have ward is at 3rd floor and ICU is at 1st floor. Right? So here the challenge comes, and stretcher lift is very important. By having you are actually fulfilling this compliance, or otherwise it is very difficult to show the compliance. Or else the hospital should be designed in such a way that ICU ward, they will pay, you have one semi-private room, one private room, and one ward. Understand?
Right.
So you can safely transfer the patient from ward to ICU. That is more important. And from ICU to ward is fine because patient is stable now, right?
Right.
But ward to ICU is very, very difficult if the flow. Second thing is that you should have the transfer register properly filled up for what patient is transferred from ward to ICU or ICU to ward. Right?
Okay.
The organization ensures EF. F is referral of patients to other departments or specialty, follow written guidance. Okay. We should have a mechanism to refer the patient. Yeah. G is the organization ensures predictable service delivery by adhering to defined timelines and informs the patient, family, and or caregiver whenever there is a change in schedule. So we'll take few examples. One is patient's relative comes and asks when doctor will come for the round in the evening. Usually evening rounds are like very unpredictable. Or even may not come. He goes for some CME, he goes for some hotel with friends and all. So here everybody should be knowing that we have to follow a defined timeline whenever we communicate to the patients or relatives. For example, if some relative asks that when doctor comes for round, so in the evening, so for example, you can always tell that, see, actually we are very good at morning and evening rounds, morning and afternoon rounds. Evening round, very important only for those who are unstable patients. For example, your patient is stable, but doctor may come from 9 to 12 p.m. today. Or he may not visit today now, but morning he will come. So by that, we have communicated in a very predictable manner.
Right.
Otherwise, if you will strictly develop a policy that 7 to 8 doctors will come.
Yes.
Then patient or relative will keep waiting and doctor will not come. Then it becomes little tough for patients and relatives.
Yes.
Right? So they think, why doctor has not come? He was coming. He said he'll come. Something like that. And they feel little insecure because they want their patient to be cared properly. So that's what it is. Especially round injection times, your blood pressure, when it will be taken, you should be able to tell them a range, and that's how it becomes predictable. Right. And then we should have an alternative. If doctor will not come, then we can always ask RMO to come and hello, I have come for the round. How are you? Are good now. So
Hmm.
that's how it can be converted into a predictable manner. Okay.
Right. Right.
So it should be defined properly, and everybody should be trained for that. Most of the time, sometime housekeeping is cleaning the room, and relative ask her when doctor comes. So housekeeping personnel should be trained that wait, I will call nurse. She will be the right person to tell you this. Though she knows doctor usually come at 10 to 11.
Right.
Otherwise she says, वो कभी आते हैं कभी नहीं आते, टेंशन मत लो, बाकी के नर्सेस वगैरह है ना यहाँ पे. मतलब no, she is not the right and qualified person to tell about these things.
Right.
So this is very practical approach towards converting unpredictable environment to a very predictable environment.
Predictable environment. Yes.
The organization has a mechanism in place to monitor whether adequate clinical intervention has taken place in response to critical value alert. So the moment doctor gets the critical value, what he has done should be documented. Adequate clinical intervention is done. Otherwise, sir, wo uska he is bilirubin high. Okay, we'll see tomorrow. No. So doctor has to do some intervention. Doctor may not run and visit the patient. That's okay. Bilirubin is high, fine. But then he add something by that his bilirubin will start reducing.
Right.
Or if there is an intervention, surgical intervention, that it has reached at such a level, for example, patient is cirrhotic patient and he has started vomiting blood. So this is a critical value again, right? So no, not vomiting blood. I will say creatinine. Serum creatinine is 2 or 3. So patient is going in renal failure. So that intensivist should call the super specialist nephrologist. Nephrologist should visit and he should intervene in the treatment. Whether to go for dialysis or no, or how, or whether to transfer the patient to the higher kidney center. Okay.
Yes.
The next one is AAC 13. The organization has an established discharge process. See, now this is the most important process as far as patient and relative satisfaction is concerned. Because what we have observed in our hospital improvement program studies and all, one second. I think this is यहाँ पे है ना. So most of the hospital discharge is not very organized. For example, doctor verbally tells patients, this is the most big mistake doctor does, because relative is asking, sir, discharge कब मिलेगा?
कब मिलेगा?
सुबह दूसरे दिन सुबह उठ रहा था, आज दे देंगे. The moment doctor says आज दे देंगे, तो relative directly comes to the finance department. वो doctor बोले, even finance department is not at all knowing that doctor has given the discharge.
Yes.
क्या हमारा बिल बना तो डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया आज डिस्चार्ज है.
Right.
So it's a surprise for the finance department or admin department. And they say, we have not got any information or file. Actually, the process is file should come to us, then we'll see what amount you have given advance, then we'll do it and all. But then patient, वो आपका problem है, डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया कर दो जल्दी, because he is not aware how much exact time requires for finishing discharge formally. Even doctor ने दे दिया बोला, he has not signed the discharge paper, he has not written any notes on discharge. So that time relative keeps moving here and there and keeps pressure. That pressure causes irritation of some of the department, either nurse or admin or finance, or even patient does not worry. He will enter in doctor while he is in OPD. सर आपने सुबह बोला अभी 4 बजे, अभी तक डिस्चार्ज नहीं हुआ है. then somebody will
And
irritate.
even
Will shout on
yes,
the somebody will shout on the relative.
exactly, exactly.
That will create a very bad impression of the hospital.
Yes,
But if you see,
yes.
this is a very common practice in even hospitals.
No, even every hospital, sir, even bigger hospitals also, the discharge time which has been taken after the discharge is declared by the doctor and actually patient gets discharged is almost around sometimes 3 to 4 hours. And
For you are talking on organized. 3 to 4 hours is a huge time for relative because he thinks now we have to go, and patient तो उससे भी ज़्यादा
yes,
गड़बड़ करता है.
exactly, exactly.
So
Right.
we have to so what they are saying is planned.
Hmm.
So the counselor, usually the counselor or the matron or the nurse in charge usually has the job but does not do this. Every day morning she should have her own round and she plan the discharge. Then she should counsel patient and family. Probably today doctor may say you can be discharged, but the hospital's process is like this. This will take this much time, this will take this much time, this will take this much time. So it may happen by evening. Now, for example, in nurse mind, there is a value of 6 hours. She should tell patient that it will take 7 to 2.
Right.
Then patient is happy. Patient 7 घंटा patient कुछ करेगा ही नहीं, आराम से बैठेगा. But meanwhile, we have finished the process by 6 hours. So this will create a wow effect. Wow effect.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that's how it should be planned. How to do that. You must have seen one advertisement 3-4 years back. Aeroplane ki advertisement thi, aeroplane has to delayed fly. Yeah. So he says ki ideally the delay was half an hour. But then pilot says to the pilot, tell them that because of some major reasons we have to wait for 2 hours. And half an hour later he says we are ready to fly, and then everybody, wow, it's good, we have saved 1.5 hours.
Right.
Got it. So that is what is kind of training should be developed. That's how the planning should be done. And it's not only the planning, but proper communication also should be trained to the relevant people of this chain, where in discharge actually everybody is involved. Right from reception to OT or ICU, or every department is involved. Okay. The discharge process is coordinated among various departments and agencies involved, including medical, legal, and absconded cases. ये कहाँ पे है? मेडिकल, हाँ ये यहाँ पर आता है. Yeah. Okay. Third one, written guidance governs the discharge of patients living against medical advice. Written guidance. So there is a DAMA, discharge against medical advice form, consent form, which is in bilingual and which has to be signed by the patients or relatives. Okay. Discharge summary is given to all patients leaving the organization, and what should be the contents of discharge summary, including if patient is living against DAMA, living against medical advice, that should be attached as an annexure to the discharge summary. Even if there are some medical, legal, or absconded cases, that should be mentioned.
Right.
Okay. Because what happens, some patient absconds and then after 5-6 days he comes and asks for discharge. So that time this abscond record should be attached as an annexure to the discharge. In the discharge summary it should be written. Otherwise, if you will attach a document, he might remove the document, give only discharge summary, the new hospital. Then the organization adheres to planned discharge. If you are planning discharge, then you have to discharge. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपने discharge plan किया and then patient has problems.
Right.
Patient has problem means patient again went into some issues. So your decision of discharge has to have a very, very good checklist Once that checklist gets fulfilled, then only you should take a decision, communicate regarding discharge. The organization conforms to the defined time frame for discharge and makes continual improvement. So it might happen that to start with, we may have 6 hours ka frame. Slowly we should start working on it and how we can reduce this. And we should improve on turnaround time of discharge, because earlier the discharge happens, better the patient will be, or relative will be more happy. Okay, even can it happen in this, if you imagine you are in the hospital admitted for some ailment, and next morning round doctor comes with a complete file with bill attached and all. Now you are discharged. How happy you will be. Huh?
Yeah.
So that is
will
what
be
is
the most ideal situation.
That is what is actually continual improvement.
Yes.
And we should keep working on that.
No, what you said is very right, that doctor should not communicate it to the patient first, which normally happens. The doctor says कि patient तो 4 बार पूछेगा ही. Doctor says कि हाँ चलो आज दे देते हैं. आज दे देते हैं मतलब patient तब से जो शुरू हो जाता है. Actually the discharge is conveyed to the departments very late, and then that all chaos happens.
Yeah. So 35% of the productivity gets because of unplanned process. Everybody is involved here. Patient सबको गालियां देता है. Everybody. And it gets into stress. Then we sit somewhere, we open our mobile, we go on Facebook, or we go on chilling. Typing कहते हैं यार बहुत तक हुई आज. So this all is loss of productivity.
No, and even I can tell you one example. In OT, normally it happens that when the patient is for discharge, as you said, the patient is very much hurry to get discharged, and billing department is the most stressed department at that time, because they have to, collate from each and every department wherever the patient has gone. For example, from ICU, from OT, and etc. So normally the nails, screws, etc. are being used for the surgery.
Yes.
Many a times the error which we have seen is the billing is not done for those what you can say, the parts which are being used for the surgery, like nails, screws, etc. They forget to charge at that time, and then afterwards, at the time of discharge, again that complete process happens, and then even the OT store is in stress that अरे ये कब आया था, क्या हुआ था, क्या नहीं हुआ था. Then again a general store is involved. So all these things happen when the charging of the particular parts is not done on the same day. Normally it should be done once the patient is out of OT, but normally it is not done at that time, and then at the time of discharge all these things happen. So
and the solution,
again the discharge is delayed.
The best solution to this is that, as we know, we have a continuation sheet. Whenever we want to write something, we pick up the continuation sheet, right? The same way there should be a service accountability sheet.
Right.
So it should be amply available everywhere. जैसे आप बैंक में जाओगी तो डिपॉजिट स्लिप, आरटीजीएस स्लिप्स कितनी मिलती है, जहां वहां कहीं भी मिल जाएगी आपको, उसका प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. चेक डिपॉजिट करना है, कैश डिपॉजिट करना है, सब स्लिप्स अवेलेबल है, राइट? सेम वे these slips should be there. Slips, these are known as service accountability slips. सब लटका दो. जहां पे भी आप जो भी पेशेंट के लिए करोगी ना, वो स्लिप कट कर स्लिप में लिखो पेशेंट का नाम, आइडेंटिटी नंबर, वार्ड, है ना, एंड वो स्लिप इसमें डाल दो, ऑर्गेनाइज कर दो. एक अलग फाइल होगा, वहां से वो फाइल मतलब आपकी फाइल में ही राइट साइड में एक पॉकेट रहेगा पेज पर, पॉकेट में उसको घुसा दो, खत्म. तो आपका गलती ही नहीं होगा फिर, राइट? So that way it has to be done, but then still it's a big deal.
Yes, manual
only by software, and whenever software also there is a challenge that whenever you do that service, you have to remember and immediately mention in the patient's portal, and that is possible only when this is a new concept, as you know, HIIMS. Okay, hospital information,
HIMS.
HIMSS,
HIMS.
HIMSS, HIMSS, Hospital Information Management System Society.
Systems.
This society had started their own accreditations or quality certification.
Okay. Okay.
And they have around 7 steps, 7 stages. Now, stage 7 accredited hospitals, there are only 150 hospitals in the world which have got the stage 7 compliance.
Oh, okay.
And stage 7 compliance means no paper is used, right from security to discharge. Patient can go anytime on the their floor wise, when you print tickets and all. So such screens are available, touch screens. You can go on screen touch and check the patient's ID and what is the bill now. Now it is online, and then the moment discharge happens, tick tick discharge, you can get the print, you can pay, something like this. The moment patient will pay that amount, automatically nurse will get and every bed has a tablet. Every bed has a tablet stand and tablet. So whenever nurse will go there, she will do injection. The patient's portal is already open. She will just put her user ID and password or her number, and she will write what she has done. That drop down. She need not to type.
Right.
So injection का picture होगा और description होगा. So if though you can click the picture of injection, and then it will automatically understand with artificial intelligence that this time patient has to get drug. So the drug name will automatically upload it. But if the drug name other, then only you have to select from the drop down menu. That's it. It is so simple.
Right.
So that kind of automation can make it very easy, and then only probably this E point is, what is E? What is the color of E, Dr. Shobana?
It is violet.
Violet means?
So it is achievement.
So you have to literally achieve it, paperless environment.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Then only you can show the compliance to this point.
Yes.
Okay.
True.
And
yes.
Defined time frame अगर आप बोलते हो, तो that is green, means.
I know. That is the excellence.
Perfect. So we'll go on last AAC point. AAC. It is the organization defines the content of the discharge summary. So what should be there in the discharge summary? You can't give the whole file, or you have to give the whole file. That is possible nowadays. People give complete file ka copy to patient. And that file copy has completely mentioned that this is the secondary copy, and the primary copy is been retained by the hospital. Okay. Primary copy, if required for some legal issues, it can be procured from the hospital through a process, something like that.
Okay.
So a discharge summary is provided to the patients at the time of discharge. Simple, right? You can't tell him that abhi aap jao, kal aake discharge summary leke jao. That is the value of at the time of discharge. नहीं तो ऐसा लगता है हमें, but ऐसा होता है. Sometimes patient goes, बोलते हैं, है ना?
Right.
काफी बार डेथ सर्टिफिकेट के बाद डेथ सर्टिफिकेट के लिए ऐसा होता है. इट इज नॉट राइट कि आप कल आके डेथ सर्टिफिकेट लेके जाओ.
यस,
दिस इज वेरी डेंजरस. मूवीज में भी आपने देखा होगा कि फिर वही पेशेंट दूसरे हॉस्पिटल में जाएगा, फिर उसको वो आईसीयू में रखेंगे और वो दिखाएंगे कि अब और 1 दिन 2 दिन, फिर डिस्चार्ज डेथ सर्टिफिकेट दूसरे दिन आएगा. वो प्रीवियस डे वाला होगा, तो दी पेशेंट्स रिलेटिव्स विल ब्लैकमेल दी न्यू हॉस्पिटल. मूवीज में देखा होगा आपने.
आई नो.
गब्बर में था, गब्बर मूवी में था.
अच्छा. ओके.
So next is discharge summary contains the patient's unique identification number. So patient name, UID, name of the treating doctor, date of admission and date of discharge. Next is reason for admission. So there is a story, reason for admission, significant findings, diagnosis, patient's condition at the time of discharge. These are all points actually. These points should have to be there.
Exactly. These points should be there in the discharge
Patient's
summary.
name. It
All
is very
listed.
simple. Unique identification number.
Yes, actually.
So name of the treating, like same like this. It should be same like this. Date of admission, of discharge, contains reason for admission. ये नहीं होता है काफी सारे discharge summary में. Significant finding, यही heading चाहिए.
No, it is there, sir.
Diagnosis and
I mean,
same wording में नहीं होता है. लिखते हैं
reason for admission, findings,
conditions. हाँ, at the time of discharge लिखते नहीं है कभी-कभी. Right? Condition लिखते हैं at the time of discharge भी चाहिए. Small things, legal information regarding investigation, ये पूरा का पूरा होना चाहिए. Information regarding investigation details होता नहीं है most of the time. Okay.
Actually, there is a template for discharge summary.
हाँ, अभी काफी सारा सॉफ्टवेयर की वजह से काफी सारा उन्होंने. Yes. But सॉफ्टवेयर में भी ये ऐसा नहीं होता है, छोटा होता है. Investigations done. But ऐसा नहीं. Information regarding investigation results. 3 times X-ray was done. First X-ray was this, second X-ray was showing this, and now the last one is showing this. It should be properly legible.
Right.
Any procedure performed. Very important. Medication administered should be from date to date. Then again you have to follow the prescription mode, dose, drug type, frequency,
yes,
duration.
Yes.
Okay.
Duration.
And mode of the
route of administration.
Okay. And other treatment. If other other treatment दी है, follow, and then finally comes follow-up advice. This should be in bilingual manner. Medication and other medication can be in one language. That's not a problem. Then other in an understandable. देखो understandable का मतलब है bilingual.
Right.
This is very important for patient because बाद में patient it is not in our control. So he has to understand. Okay.
Yes.
Discharge summary incorporate instructions about when and how to obtain urgent. ये आपको बोला था ना emergency care.
Yes.
Because we know for what purpose we are discharging and patient has what. So based on that, if patient has come from some remote village and the patient is admitted in a city hospital, so the city hospital has responsibility to see how far the patient's village is from that particular hospital, and if similar services are available nearby to patients or in his own village where patient may not be aware of, that contact number can be shared in this format. कि अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम हुआ तो आपके विलेज में ही ये डॉक्टर है, उनको आप मिलो एंड उनका नंबर भी दे दो आप. अंडरस्टैंड? सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अदरवाइज पेशेंट वहां से फिर से सिटी में आने तक तो मर जाएगा बीच में एम्बुलेंस में.
Right.
ज्याला आपण काखेत कळसा आणि गावाला वळसा. So you had that opportunity to get treated this emergency symptom in your own place. But whose responsibility is this? Patient's? No, it is hospital's responsibility which is discharging to this patient. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
In case of death, this summary of the case also includes cause of death.
Right.
Fine. So we have finished the ASC. It was very entertaining. Even I found it very exciting because for the first time in last 3 years, not last 3 years, for the first time in 12 years, I am into this training.
Okay.
Yeah, because before Corona, we had a team of 30 people, as I told you. And
okay.
When we selected, we had CEO. So CEO was capable enough to create her own training, and she used to train our coordinators.
Okay.
My job was to just take care of, kickoff meeting.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I'm finding it very exciting. मैंने अब तक सारे NABH के these guidelines. Yes, while developing the SOPs, we have gone through these guidelines and taken care that every point is there in our SOPs and all. And whenever there is no point in SOPs, we will try. And I'll take this opportunity to, we are changing our SOP format now. We are changing our SOP format. I'll show you how that format would be. So that we should not miss any of the guidance. Okay.
Right.
So I'll show you how it will be. So SOPs will be developed in an Excel sheet. Okay. For example, here it will be standard, right? And here it will be a compliance.
Okay.
So we will take an example now. So we take an example of AC1. Okay. I'll copy this. With this here. Okay, this is the standard. Okay, but then standard will not be enough. Obviously, we required objective element also, right? We have 4 objective elements here in standard 1, right? So we'll just copy this, paste it here. So these are the 4 objective elements. Understood? Hello? 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 Dr. Shobana? Hello? 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 Hello, Dr. Shobana?
Sir.
You can hear?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be in the same color. You are seeing the color, right? This color will not be the same. This will be kind of, we can say, black color. You can see this?
Yes.
Yeah, so by seeing color itself, we know that this is a commitment. Our SOPs will be colorful SOPs probably. Understand? And in this we'll write the compliance process or whatever, whatever. And this whole thing will be printed. Okay. It will look very nice then. It will look very nice. कहाँ पे red है? तो nurses while reading they will know that red तो पढ़ना ही है भाई. पढ़ना ही है. That we have to know that.
Yes.
Kind of we are trying to develop this. Okay, but this will be kind of a very good experience which we have not done in India. Or in Europe, I have seen these SOPs.
Okay.
In Europe, they are following such kind of pattern. So they don't only write, they don't only write. Those who will be reading this, they why they have written this and which standard it is following. Okay, most of the time people go for multiple accreditations. Then this compliance probably is ASC1, but same way this is for JCI also, but the description is different. Standard is different.
Description is different.
So what they do is they just, one sec, they just the color here JCI, which can be The green we can't use. So here maybe which can be different. You can see this. NABH ka this standard and JCI whatever standard we will write. Okay. So for this both the same compliance is there. Because this is what is known as harmonization of SOPs. Now you must have heard
Right.
Harmonization of SOPs or harmonization
Right,
of DMS.
right.
This is the right approach to harmonize the multiple guidances.
Okay, right.
Or even it may happen in brainstorming session. Hospital has their own exceeding compliances. So hospital can write their hospital's guidance. You can develop your own guidance.
Right.
So we don't know whether we'll be able to achieve sooner, but we are on it.
Right, right.
Okay. This I wanted to do
sir.
it in LifeCell, but could not do it because LifeCell has gone for more than 9 international accreditations. So 9 का अलग-अलग documents थे सारे. So it was tough to कौन सा refer करना है, कब करना है. तो it landed up in library बहुत बड़ी है, लेकिन nobody is reading. But by this, at least one document means people will read.
Right,
By
right.
reading one document, they will know about all the applications the company or organization is going for. Okay.
Going through.
So Toyota,
Yes.
Toyota must have done this, and later on Toyota found that because they were developing this. Meanwhile, they were also developing their own standards.
Okay, okay.
And one point came, then they stopped all other standards and they are following their own standards now.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how it is. So this is good one. We have finished one. So party time. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then tomorrow, then
Okay.
we'll go for COP now, right?
COP. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would be okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you
It
very
was
much.
very nice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Yeah. Bye.